the end of week 3. I had a great week. What I'm learning about myself this week is really cool. And so I think that just telling you the stories of what happened this week will kind of lead into what I'm learning about myself and why that is the case. As I mentioned in my previous videos, I have a favorite little dude. I'm going to give him a name, which is not his actual name, but I'd like to call him like a name versus just my favorite little dude or whatever, because I feel like that makes it easier to tell stories about him. So I'm going to call him Dan. Okay, so my favorite little dude, his name is Dan. So Dan, I started connecting with him the first few days. He is super external processor and just talks all the time. Whenever he had to write descriptions of himself or draw pictures of himself, he describes himself as, the only thing I like is talking. That's all I know about myself. That's all you need to know about me, is that I like to talk. And he drew a picture of himself with just speech bubbles around himself because he just likes to talk all the time. So we were already connecting in the first couple days because he just comes up to me every 5 minutes and starts talking to me about Minecraft or himself or pretty much just Minecraft. So I talk to him because I love talking to kids, especially when they like talk a lot. I want to talk to them. And so then over the course of that first week, I realized that he's actually one of our students who needs a lot more guidance, a lot more checking in to make sure he's doing what he's doing. He gets very distracted. He is as I've been talking to him, I realize, wow, he's like actually really creative. He's at least smarter than he thinks he is, but he just won't put what he is saying or thinking on paper. He is also really, really hard on himself. So he says he's not good at writing, he's not good at math, he's not good at this and this and this, and he just gets really down on himself, and he gets really into weakness when he is trying to do something. And so then because of that, he doesn't have the confidence to actually step into it and get something done. And so because of this, to make sure he's on track and doing what he needs to do, I am checking in with him every few minutes and being like, what's up, Dan? Like, are you getting things done? It's a kid, he talks a lot, we've connected, and I'm realizing he needs a lot of assistance and he's pretty needy. And as I'm thinking about him and interacting with him more, I'm trying to figure out what are his intangible drivers, right? Towards the end of last week, I started asking him to write his answers down. When he's saying them out loud, he doesn't want to write them down, right? And I started going, oh, could you write that down for me? Or, I would feel so much better if you would write that down for me. And he would do it. And I only did that a few times last week. So, over the weekend, I'm realizing this kid might be compassion, maybe server, because when I was asking him to do it for me or doing it so I would feel better, he would do it. And then also over the weekend, I was trying to figure him out some more, and some of my friends mentioned, oh, maybe he might need to learn that sometimes there are things that we don't want to do and they don't make us feel good, but they're things that we need to step into anyway, and maybe he needs to start learning that. And of course he's in 3rd grade, so he's still pretty young, but it's like he can still start learning how to do that. On Monday I came in and I wanted to use this information that I was figuring out. So I was like, okay, I want to try using the compassion or server way of motivating him to do stuff, try that out, and then also maybe start telling him stories about men. So Monday was really awesome because we were doing some of the same stuff we were doing the previous week, but I was really, really intentional about using, do you think you could write that down for me? Do you think you could do this for me? And I would feel so much better if you could do this for me. And it was crazy. I was saying that I know that intangible driver stuff works, but holy crap, like, it is literal magic. It feels like literal magic. It works every single time. Every single time he wasn't writing down his answer or wasn't doing his work or wasn't paying attention, if I went, hey bud, do you think you could do that for me? Do you think you could write that down for me? I would feel so much better if you could write that down for me. Literally every time. Every time it worked. Every single time. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's definitely, I was really leaning towards compassion because the feeling better thing really got to him. And like I said before, he gets into weakness a lot. So I was doing that all day. That was awesome. And then Dan is the kid who I was talking about who had a really bad experience with the Chromebooks last week. So last week, whenever we would do the Chromebook stuff, he just was not having it. And so on Monday, we got out the Chromebooks again, and he was already starting to tear up, was already starting to get upset about having to use the Chromebooks again. And I totally feel like God was speaking to me in the moment about how I could interact with him. So I feel like God gave me the idea of all I need to focus on with him right now is step one and only step one. So he's getting upset about the Chromebook, and I get down on his level, and I was like, hey, bud, can you just look at me for a second? And he like looks up at me with tears in his eyes, and I was like, hey, I'm not gonna make you do anything you don't want to do, okay? And he like nods at me. He's like, and I was like, all I need you to focus on right now is just opening your Chromebook for me. Do you think you could just open your Chromebook for me? And he was like, yeah, I think so. And I was like, awesome. Just focus on that. And he was like, but I'm not going to go on the extra math program. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm not going to make you do anything you don't want to do. Could you just open it for me? And then he like calmed down, and he was able to open the Chromebook, and we just sat there with the Chromebook open, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, I wanted to understand why the heck he doesn't like this Chromebook so much. And so I asked him, like, why don't you like this Chromebook? And he was like, I don't know. And I was like, is it because you don't understand it? Like, you don't know how it works? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, do you want to just get used to this then? Let's just sit here and get used to this Chromebook. Let's not open anything up. Let's just sit here and you can get used to it. And I was like, and we just sat there a little bit, and he was looking around on the Chromebook, and then he starts pointing out things on the Chromebook that are different than his computer at home. So he goes, oh, the power button is different on my computer. I was like, oh yeah, tell me about that. And we went through, he started pointing all this stuff out now, and I asked him about it. And so I think it was just getting familiar with this Chromebook. So then after that goes for a little bit, I start explaining these little things to him, and he starts moving his mouse around and asking about different things. And so it's like getting more and more understandable to him. And then finally he goes, okay, I think I want to open up the program. And he's like, not extra math, which is, he hates extra math, but he's like, I think I want to open up like a different math program. I was like, awesome, that is amazing, dude. Like, I have some clips of me at the end of the day just talking on Monday about how awesome it was, because it was so freaking cool. This kid, I see that like it's gonna take a lot of work. Like, it's not even gonna take a lot of work. It's just gonna take slowing down and interacting with him in a specific way that's going to reach him, and just doing that. It's not even work. It's just like, once you understand that, it's like, oh, I can do that. Oh, it's so fun. So then on Monday, at the end of the day, so we've had this good day of me realizing how to motivate him. That works every single time. And then 2, slowing down with him and just focusing on step one and only step one, and helping him through this experience that really upsets him, like pretty much every time he's done it so far. And so at the end of the day, we're talking about snacks, and he starts talking about how he's gonna bring popcorn in for a snack. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't like popcorn. Like, I don't really like that. And he was like, what? He's like, maybe I could bring some and you could try it. And I was like, I don't know, man. And then I had this idea, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It would be really hard for me to eat popcorn. Like, I really don't like it, and I don't want to eat it, and so it would be like really hard for me to do that. So you know what would make me feel a lot better about trying popcorn? And he was like, what? And I was like, maybe like if someone else, like maybe you did something hard too that you didn't want to do, and that would make me feel a lot better about trying popcorn. And he kind of like looks at me, and he was like, maybe. And he's like, well, what would you want me to do? And I was like, well, I don't know, something that's hard for you to do that you don't want to do. And he was like, oh, like eat a lime? And I was like, no, not really like eat a lime, maybe something else. And he was like, well, like what? And I was like, I think you know, bud. And he was like extra math? And I was like, yeah, maybe. I think that would help me feel a lot better about eating popcorn. And he was like, And he like starts trying to bargain with me. He's like, well, what if I ate like 15 limes? And I was like, no, I really don't think that would do it for me. I think extra math is really the only thing that's gonna help me feel better. And the whole cool thing about this is it's true. I'm not lying. I really don't want to eat popcorn. ugh, like I hate it. It's gross, and it would be really, really hard for me to eat it. And I really, really do want him to do extra math, and that would make me feel better about eating popcorn if he did extra math. So it's like, this is a totally genuine conversation that we're having. And so I'm like, yeah, man, it's up to you. Like, you can do whichever one you want, but if you want me to eat popcorn, I think you doing extra math is the thing that's gonna help me get there. And he kind of like squints his eyes at me, and he's like, okay, maybe. And I was like, yeah, man, it's up to you. So then Tuesday, Wednesday, we're a little bit harder for him. He was having some more trouble with the Chromebooks, and he was like getting really upset about it. I got to talk to him individually those 2 days whenever we were doing the Chromebook stuff. And I really wanted to talk to him about like doing hard things, and sometimes we don't like to do the things we have to do, but like what makes a really cool person is someone who steps into those things anyway. And so Dan loves Minecraft, and he talks about Minecraft all the time. So on Wednesday it was really cool. I got to talk to him. I was like, hey, so I wanted to talk to you because I've been talking to my friends about Minecraft this weekend because of you, and my friend Rob, he was saying why he plays survival mode on Minecraft, and he does that because it's so much more satisfying when he has to work for something and then he gets it. It's so much more rewarding, and it feels so much better versus when he just gets it for free. And you know what? I think my friend Rob is super cool because of that. It kind of broke my heart a little bit because Dan was like, oh, do you think he could come over to my house and we could play Minecraft? And I was like, oh, I don't think so, bud. So then the end of the week came around, and it was so cool, and I have another clip to play that explains it all from the day that it happened.
Oh my goodness, my favorite little man did so well today. I'm so stinking proud of him. It makes me want to cry. I love him so much. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so Monday I talked, and I shared about how the freaking magic intangible drivers was working, and it still works. But the past couple days for him have been like a little hard, getting him to do stuff, and he's been a little unmotivated, and every time he does something, like does the hard thing that he doesn't want to do, I affirm him for stepping into it anyway. And I've been trying to do that the past couple days, and it's been a little hard, but I'm like, it's good. I love interacting with him, and so it's been kind of fun. So then today, he on the Chromebook with the math program he doesn't like, he said he wanted to do it, and he wanted to he didn't even cry at all, and he just immediately was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. And I was like, he's like, I'm not gonna do more than one, but I'm gonna do it. And I was like, that's awesome, dude, like that's so cool. He did the other stuff on the Chromebook just fine. He wanted to try reading on Epic, and he asked me to help him with that, and it was just so good. He was so good today. And he talked about bringing me popcorn, and I was like, yes, so good, bud. So then at the end of the day, I was like, hey, bud, I just want to tell you, I think I am super proud of you today, because you stepped into tons of hard things today that you didn't want to do before. Today you did them, and even though they were hard, and even though you didn't want to do them, and I think that's so cool. I am so proud of you, bud. And it was so good. My heart is so warm.
So I think the biggest thing I'm learning this week is that I absolutely love figuring these kids out, interacting with them, and embracing the challenge of half the time I don't know what I'm doing. It is so fun. And I don't get impatient, I don't get mad, I don't get annoyed. It's just every once in a while they'll do something that's kind of I don't really like that. But it's such a challenge for me to step into, and I'm all about challenge. I want to challenge all the time. That's the thing that gets me into flow, and these kids give me challenge every single day, and this is so good for me. It's just I love this, and it's I see and hear other teachers online or even at the school, and it's just they're annoyed and they're frustrated, and I get it. But I don't get that. I understand it, but I don't get it, because I feel who I am loves that and embraces it. And I'm getting so much energy interacting with the kids, so much energy from figuring them out and trying things and experimenting and applying stuff that I've learned for years and years and years, and it is amazing. It is so fun. I love it so much. It's just confirming in me, this is what I'm gonna, this is my thing. This is what I'm gonna do, and it's so exciting. I get so much energy from it. Like, I want to go to school, back to school on Monday. I get a little bit sad when it's Friday because I'm not going to be going back. And I sob thinking about leaving in January. I have been doing that a lot, and I just want to keep trying to help the kids as much as I can in this moment that I'm here and the time that I'm here, because I have stuff that can help them, and I want to do the best that I can in this time. And it feels like a burden to know that I will be leaving with all this information that could help them, and I might not ever see them again, and that really kind of hurts me, but it also can motivate me to do the best I can with the time I have with them now and learn them the best I can, give them the tools that I can, and that's what I can do. So yeah, I'm excited to go into week 4. Yay! Thanks for watching.